Hello, beautiful people. My name is Ame. I hope you're doing wonderful. And well, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. And if you haven't, well, welcome. So happy to see you. Today, we are going to talk about a very controversial subject, which is self-hatred and how it's okay if you hate yourself. It's okay. And by that, I mean it's normal. I'd like to start by talking about my own personal experience with self-love and self-acceptance and self-hatred. And so let's just get into it, and then I'll have this other portion of the video that will be a lot more structured, that will not justify but help us understand better how it is normal. So me. I have struggled with my body image, with my self-image forever. Forever and ever, for as long as I can remember. And I remember when I finally had access to, my first phone and Wi-Fi. Whole other story. I grew up on the farm. We didn't really have internet like that. It was the dial-up internet. Anyway, can open Google image without my computer crashing. So we could forget about videos. But when I finally was able to watch videos, I would look up, why do I hate myself? How to stop hating myself, because hating myself was so uncomfortable and I wanted it to stop. Now, I was a young girl. I was 13 when it got really, really, really bad. And I would look up, how to love yourself, and I would see these influencers who were so gorgeous, so beautiful, telling me, my 13-year-old self, with acne and a bigger body than all my friends, and just, a teenager, or a preteen, whatever you want to call it. And they would tell me, you should love yourself. You should not hate yourself. It is wrong to hate yourself. If you do that, it is wrong. You should love yourself. Here, buy my products and that will help you love yourself. Buy a gym membership. It will help you love yourself. Read my book. Buy my book. And I will teach you how to love yourself, how to stop being wrong, how to stop doing bad things. And you know what it did to my brain? It made it so, obviously it didn't fix anything. I didn't feel any better after that, maybe momentarily, but I found myself at 24 having a mental breakdown in my bath about how I hated my body, and how I felt so much guilt. Not only did I feel uncomfortable with the way my body looked, but I felt bad. I feel horrible for hating my body, because I know I shouldn't, because it is bad. I came to the realization that it is not wrong. It's not bad. It is not something you shouldn't do. And if you do that, that's bad. And you should want to fix it. And you should want to spend a lot of money trying to fix it. It is just something that happens. It is something that happens, and the more organized portion of this video will not justify why, but help us understand it better, understand why it is now normal. Now it is something that happens, unfortunately, but it is, I fought with myself, realizing now that all these influencers who are like, you shouldn't hate yourself, you should never ever do that, you should never say anything mean, if you do, you should feel horrible about yourself. Obviously that's not how they said it, but that's how it made me feel. So not only did it make my problem worse, it did not fix what I thought was the problem. which is not even the problem. It is just something that unfortunately will happen. Sometimes you will have days you look in the mirror and see a troll, and it is so frustrating and saddening that it happens. But body dysmorphia is the thing, and it is something you can, make a little better, but it is something that will happen. And I think the first step is accepting that it will happen. Some days you will feel like shit, honestly. You'll look at yourself and see a troll. Like I said, you won't fit in your pants. You'll be like, oh my God, and you'll start to cry and you'll hate your body. But it is about understanding that it is normal, but you won't let it take over your whole life and keep you from doing what you love. For years, I need to tell you this. From a very young age, I was obsessed with swimming, with water. I could spend my whole life in a pool, at the beach. I just loved swimming. And then I turned 13 and I did not go outside, aside from going on runs. I did not go outside and I did not wear a swimsuit for 2 years because I hated my body. The problem was never how these thoughts would cross my mind, and it was more what I did with these thoughts and how it was this continuous circle, this vicious cycle of I hate myself and I feel bad because I know I shouldn't, and so I should do something about the way I look so it'll make me feel better. But then there's always going to be something, if it wasn't the size of my legs, what was the cellulite on them? If it wasn't the cellulite, it was the hair. And then what do you do about hair? You get laser, but you're 13. How do you pay for laser? You can't, And even then, okay, I did laser. Now what is it? Oh, it is that my hairline. I have quite a big forehead. I don't like my forehead. What am I gonna do? Go to Turkey, fix my hairline? There will always be something. That's okay. That's okay. Nothing's wrong with you. Nothing is wrong because you don't think you're a goddess every second of your life. That's okay. That's fine. I thought that something was wrong with me because, look, I went to therapy. At one point, I lost a bunch of weight and I gained it back. Life. I lost a bunch of weight. I went to therapy. I practiced sports. I went out with friends. I learned how to do makeup, that. I grew my hair. I spent so much money. I spent so much energy trying to fix something that wasn't broken. I could not accept that some days I would not love the way I looked. And it's not about, like I said, having these thoughts and keeping them in your head and obsessing over them and not wanting to go out because you feel like you look ugly. It's about going, okay, today I woke up, I looked in the mirror, and I was breaking the F out on my chin. It's always in this spot, the cheeks, and this part of my face. And I need to wax my mustache. Man, I woke up this morning and I was like, I don't look my best. But I have a message I want to send to the world, and so I'm gonna record this video. I'm gonna put a little bit of concealer to make myself feel a little better. I love doing makeup. I genuinely do. It makes me feel very pretty and very talented. Not talented, but I think I'm good at it. Regardless, I did not let these thoughts stop me from doing what I had to do. I'm gonna accept that is something I don't particularly like about myself. Some days it doesn't really bother me, but other days, for some reason, I might be tired, stressed, hormonal, whatever. Some days it's super hard. but I don't let it dictate my life. I accept that some days I'll hate the way I look. It will happen, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with me. So now that that is out of the way, let's jump in to the why. You know, if you didn't know, I feel like that's something that's repeated again and again, but I'll repeat it again. You know, a little reminder. It's always good. Made a list, so if I'm looking away, it's because I'm reading my list, so I don't forget anything. But I summarize it into 5 points, but there are so many other reasons, okay? So, first of all, unrealistic beauty standards. We're all aware of it. From social media to advertisement, us young women, we do struggle with self-hate quite a bit. Some people more than others. What shouldn't be normal, like I said, it is what it is. It is there, and it is going to happen. And we're constantly bombarded with images of the ideal body. And I would like to say, okay, and I know there are exceptions, but the plus size ladies always have a flat stomach, which is so baffling to me because we're the same size. And I'll use the word fat because to me it is not a bad word. We're both fat. Where's your stomach? Nothing wrong with not having a big, a bulging stomach. I have one. Like, I have a little tummy that bulges out, especially after I eat. Where's your stomach? That's something, for instance, that I struggle with. I don't love the way my stomach looks. And then I go, okay, well, they started to include more people who look like me. They don't. They look like the skinny models if you stretch the picture a little bit. They have this perfect hourglass, no stomach, big boobs, big butt body, and you're like, well, you see, like, the idea was there, but it's not quite there. Nothing wrong with them. They are goddesses. But I'm saying, it's like, yes, be fat, but be a certain kind of fat. Exactly like this. If not, you don't deserve to be on the billboard. That's how it made me feel. And that's how I feel a lot of people feel too. And not only is it the bodies, it is the face, it is the lifestyles. Because not only are they curvy, they're not just fat, they're curvy and they're gorgeous and they're rich. And you're like, well, it's not exactly what I meant by representation, all in all, these portrayals are often filtered and edited or unattainably curated, making us girl feel inadequate. I'm fat, but I'm not the right kind of fat. Something's wrong with me because I look at this and I should feel happy that I'm being represented, but something's wrong with me because I don't feel represented, and I feel like if I ask for more, I'm just complaining again. You see? Second point, cultural expectations and gender roles. Society tends to put pressure on us women to be everything. So not only do we need to be thin, we need to be gorgeous, we need to be smart and successful and rich and nurturing and kind and accepting and positive, so positive. Thing with that is that the weight of all these expectations can lead to chronic self-criticism and feelings of failure and feeling like we're never enough. Because, like I said, there will always be something. I talked about hair, cellulite, the size of things on your body. But there's also, am I smart enough? I'm really pretty, but If I'm dumb as a rock, it doesn't matter, you know, and we spiral. We're never enough. 3, number 3, social media. We've heard it so many times, pardon, but platforms like Instagram, TikTok, yada yada, but especially these two, they amplify the insecurities. We have such young girls on these platforms, but young women too, who, and women in general, who will compare themselves, compare their real life to someone else's that obviously only posts the highlights and the right pose and angle, the right angle and the right lighting and a little bit of Facetune, just a little bit. I just had one pimple. I just needed to, oh, I just had a little bit of, it's just my back looked a little, so it's not a big deal. But down the line, it's that everyone does it. And what that leads to is anxiety, depression, feeling of low self-worth. But it's just a little bit of editing, just a little, because everyone does it, because everyone hates themselves at least a little bit. But we're not going to talk about that because it is such a taboo subject, and the word hate is so strong and bad. Number 4 is internalized misogyny. Growing up in a world where women's voices are often dismissed, devalued, like I said, oh yeah, it's representation, but hey, that's not what I meant by representation. I meant like real bodies, not like fat women edited to look like skinny women but a little bit bigger. I meant like really like us, you know? No, you're asking for too much. We gave you representation and you're still complaining. Da, 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 da. Where's her voice? You know? What's wrong with asking for better? The dismissal and the devaluation, what it causes is for young women to absorb these toxic beliefs about themselves, how you should be quiet and you should, we shouldn't ask for too much. And again, you have these influencers who are like, oh, you should love yourself, and if you don't, it's wrong to hate yourself, you should never say bad things about yourself. It leads to even more negative self-talk and low self-worth. It's the never-ending vicious cycle I was talking about earlier. Finally, number 5 is mental health struggles. You have anxiety, you have depression, you have eating disorders, and you have so many other mental health challenges. Oftentimes it's adolescence, but I feel like more and more it's older and older. We're never enough, and it never stops because we never addressed the real problem. We weren't looking in the right direction. You know why? Because people don't make money giving you a permanent solution. They make money giving you a solution that will make you come back for more and more and more. Mental health struggles will be amplified by the fact that we spiral. We spiral again and again, thinking that, hey, it's not just the brands, it's the influencers, it's the people around us that are telling us to love ourselves, and you should never hate yourself, you should never have bad thoughts about yourself. It's you that's wrong for having these thoughts, for feeling how you feel. It's not everything around you that is making you think that is wrong. It is such a complex subject, and it took me 24 years to realize that. And I hope that by watching this video, someone out there, even just one person, will be able to have that realization before and start to work on accepting that, hey, these thoughts will come, but I do not let them dictate my life. And it is normal. Everyone feels that way. Every single person, even the ones you're like, there's no way. They never have a day in their lives where they don't feel cute. Every single person. I promise you, you will feel liberated the day you understand that there's nothing wrong with you. It's okay. Shift your perspective and shift your hard work to acceptance and compassion. That's it. I think that's enough. I truly hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped. Please let me know in the comments what you thought. If you liked it, if you disagree, if you agree, if I want to hear you. Your voice is so important, and I get genuinely so freaking excited every time someone comments on my videos. But yeah. If no one told you today, I love you, and I hope you're doing good. And if you aren't, that's okay. We'll get through this together. Okay. That's enough. Take care.